On June 27, 2018, I packed my bags and headed off to the airport for my EF trip to Barcelona. I had always dreamed of going to Europe when I grew up, and this was the first time I would witness the incredible European history I had dreamed of. After researching the intricate cities in Spain, I decided to focus my research question on Spanish architecture. How does the architecture in Barcelona reflect the culture and lifestyles in Spain? When we finally arrived to Barcelona, I could not believe my eyes. After walking out of the airport, I was surrounded by tall, distinguished buildings with details different from the next. I didn't know where to look, and I had my phone out at all times taking pictures of all different kinds of buildings I passed. When analyzing apartments in a single street, they all had unique features. Apartments were of different shapes and colors, as well as different balconies. In addition, designs were enhanced with sculptures on the walls representing the architects or other artists in the area. The tops of buildings are all detailed and have something special about them, as not many buildings are alike. Flowers were abundant on balconies, showing the liveliness of the population. The unique qualities of each apartment, including bright colors, displays the amount of focus Spaniards have on architecture in their country and has opened my view of the extent of detail expressed everywhere we walk. With the unique organization of alleys and roads, plazas, areas between the roads were utilized for a place to sit, relax, and enjoy music, beautiful scenery, and food. This was a place for tourists and civilians to spend some time during the day, an important part of Spanish lifestyle. The first level of the buildings are stores, restaurants, buildings for the city use. Then on the top are apartments. As the location of apartments promotes access to various activities, the lively culture in Spain prospers. Alleyways are filled with music and stores and civilians and tourists filling the streets. As we walked through alleyways, we would encounter musicians playing music, inviting people to dance and sing along. The World Fair in 1929 allowed for the building of more modern sections of town, providing opportunities for partying and younger cultures. During our visit, this location was full of soccer fans cheering on Spain in the World Cup. The city of Barcelona is surrounded by the idea of tourism and has evolved to support the large influx of tourists. In the 1950s, most every intersection became a large four-way cross with triangular corners to allow large streetcars to turn. In the middle of the large intersections, there are medians where people walk and visit parks, fountains, and other landmarks. The first location we went to was Las Ramblas. This street is a portal where tourists have access to the famous Boqueria market, home to merchants selling meat, fruits, juice, chocolate, and foods like croquetas, as well as bars and restaurants. Alongside the Las Ramblas street lies apartments on either side of the street, home to civilians as well as renters. Most of the population in Barcelona live in apartments in alleyways and streets. With this close proximity to the city, civilians and tourists have direct access to stores, restaurants, street vendors, parks, and more. As we walked through alleys, we would suddenly transition from old-fashioned stores and restaurants and stumble along huge museums or cathedrals and other landmarks. Cathedrals were covered with intricate details symbolizing different religions and stories in the Bible, or ancient myths. The vast amount of cathedrals we visited displayed the variety of religions that were expressed in Barcelona in the past. I was astonished by the amount of detail and meaning hidden in every square foot of the cathedrals and churches we visited. This detail expresses the culture of Spaniards where their lives are surrounded by religion and ancient stories and beliefs. Even today, civilians attend Mass and visit these cathedrals, presenting their true connections with religion. Barcelona is a place where very talented and rich people prospered, and so the contributions they made to Spain can be seen everywhere. The most impressive architecture I witnessed was the Sagrada Familia, where Antoni Gaudí, a very famous architect, was buried. The exterior of the Sagrada Familia displayed different religious stories and scenes. For years, Gaudí sought the support of the public for building this incredible church, and in return the faces of workers and their families are molded onto the buildings as a part of the architecture. The Sagrada Familia is entirely funded by the civilians. This displays the giving and loving support of the public in Barcelona for art and such glamorous and incredible masterpieces. Now, even after Gaudí has passed away, they are still finishing this building after more than 100 years. This was truly the highlight of my trip. I am forever grateful for this trip as my outlook and understanding of the world is embellished and broadened. My focus on the architecture of Spain allowed me to fully understand the energy-filled culture and lifestyles of civilians within Spain. Thank you for watching!